Hey everybody, welcome back to the channel. It's Crow, your favorite part-time YouTuber, and we have two pretty big things that happened last night that I have to cover. One is there's an article from Rolling Stone which is doing its damnedest to provide cover for Chris Tyson. Rolling Stone is the same outlet that said that Chris Tyson was stepping away because of transphobic attacks just recently, but this article is much worse. On top of that, we now have Discord logs from Chris Tyson's Discord server, which shows that yes, minors were engaging with NSFW type of content. I have to be very careful about what I say in this video because right now there is something going around where certain videos are being age restricted and I have no clue what word is triggering it. So I'm just going to be as careful as I can with this one. But even before this article had come out, the one Lava is promoting and everything, from Stephen Asarch, who we will talk about in a little bit. Nathan, Lava's former friend, had already come out and accused Lava of lying and showed that they were also involved in that Discord. Stephen Asarch did not bother to report on that at all, did not comment on that at all, went entirely based on the words of Lava, even though you're dealing with an accusation of, grooming. If you're dealing with an accusation of grooming, you have to acknowledge the fact that most victims will defend their abuser. If you know that, you can't just take them at their word. You really can't. It might sound cruel, but that's the reality of the situation. That's why it's so hard to get victims to come forward about the people that are doing it to them, because in their minds, everything that happened was okay, and the person doing it to them was their friend, which is exactly how Lava has acted. In fact, real quick, let me just go to his account here, and the pinned tweet: "These videos are massive lies and twisting the truth. Aven never did anything wrong, just made a few edgy jokes. I was never exploited or taken advantage of. Can you do me a favor and comment on these videos and tell them to stop spreading lies? The situation, blah, 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 blah." This is A Cheeto and Sensitive Society. They were just talking about the lolicon at the time. They didn't even bring up Lava. But Lava saw these videos, freaked out, and demanded that people go and try to brigade these videos to get them, essentially get the people who created them to take them down, right? Lava went full into defending Chris Tyson, even against things that had nothing to do with Lava. So that should have been suspect enough for like an actual journalist. But like I said, Stephen Asarch has always been kind of a piece of shit. That's sort of why I have him muted. But when I saw this, like, I was like, what the hell? This was the interaction that I was going, okay, this guy is trash, like pure trash. Because he goes, "You can delete this trash now and never do journalism again. LOL, now why is that, angry gamer? Your boy LavaGS got exposed. He is a liar." And we will be playing the second part of Nathan's video and then going through the Discord logs here. But he goes, "Exposed for what? Nothing he said in the story is about what's in this video. You're just being weird." In this video, he was able to confirm that there were NSFW channels. And we now have the Discord log showing that there was a porn bot spamming this stuff at these kids, okay? And Steven goes, "Nothing he says in this video has anything to do with the article." I just went to the article. It's behind a paywall, by the way. But you can see the top portion of it. Let me just read this section right here. "The former Mr. Beast associate has been accused of sending inappropriate messages to minor, but according to the individual and those who worked with him, nothing untoward happened." By the time Steven wrote this article, Nathan, another individual who had worked for Chris Tyson in this exact same Discord server, had already come forward and said many untoward things had been happening. And before this article went up, right, or maybe about the same time, right, just to be fair, maybe about the same time, Nathan had come out and shown that he had logs, he had proof. Now we have the logs, which were provided by another minor in that Discord server. So I have no clue who else Steven had spoken to that used to work with Chris Tyson, but we now have multiple minors from that Discord server who have come forward and shown, hey, guys, yeah, this stuff was happening, because another minor is the one that archived all this stuff. Now, I definitely said a few choice things from there. Personally, I said that, Stephen Asarch looks like the type of guy to be involved in this type of thing. Take that for what for whatever you want. This man is a very smart, high IQ individual. Why the hell was an adult gathering up a bunch of minors to run his Discord server. What part of that sounds normal and edgy jokes? Because common sense would say that there's a reason why you're gathering a bunch of minors into a Discord server if you're an adult, right? Like common sense would be like, what's that about? What the hell is that about? And if you have no understanding, you have no idea, why the hell are you going to write that article? You know what I mean? Wouldn't you do your job to investigate what's actually being claimed? Especially since at the time that this idiot wrote this garbage article, we had somebody else from that server who had already come forward and said bad things were happening inside of it. All right, I'm going to play Nathan's video now, and then we will go through the Discord logs. There is quite a bit of it.
This is part 2 to yesterday's video of me talking about Ava Chris Tyson and what they did to me when I was 15 years old. This video has all the proof in it, all the receipts, and all the screenshots, thanks to an old friend of mine who was a moderator in Chris's Discord server at the time, Cookie. Now, Cookie actually went ahead and downloaded logs of all the individual channels on Chris's server before it went public, knowing that this was kind of being covered up, and he kept the logs of it for himself. He actually reached out to me here on Twitter, and I'm going to provide a lot of the screenshots backing up the claims that I made that Lava refuted. For example, I made a claim that there was an NSFW channel in the server where Chris would spam corn. Here you can see Chris talking about locking down the NSFW channel to True Gods and Anointed only. By the way, this is in 2019. I was a True God and I was a minor. Not only that, but you can see me right below it, Nathan.rtx, saying this is a bad idea. So even I knew as a kid that this was a really bad idea. Here is Lava himself talking about starting the commencement of cleaning the server, word for word. I said he was talking about scrubbing the server. He says that never happened. Here you can see him talking about it, as well as me and Cookie himself talking about it. I just want to make this video real quick, disproving some of the claims that Lava refuted and showing that they actually are true, but I actually have thousands of Discord messages to go through in these logs that I was just provided by Cookie. Shout out to him for giving me them, and I'm going to be going through them and posting an update video with some more proof.
Now, one thing that was in Nathan's video I just had to address really quick. He showed a tweet by Lava in which he was claiming that they never did any cleansing of the server to remove racist remarks or porn, right? You saw it in Nathan's video. Lava has now deleted that tweet. And Lava has now put a new statement out saying that, oh, after reading the chat logs, this stuff was inappropriate and wrong. Shut the fuck up, man. Seriously, shut the fuck up, right? This kid has lied repeatedly, and I mean repeatedly. Do I feel bad that somebody tricked them into revealing their story? Yeah, I admit it's a pretty bad way to go about things. It is. But ever since then, Lava has done nothing but lie, and I mean big lies. The lie that they were just edgy jokes. There was no cleansing of the server. We never removed porn or racist remarks. Now that that's come out, he's deleted his old tweet and he's put out a new one going, you know what, this was 5-6 years ago. I thought I had a good memory of the situation. I guess I didn't. Oopsie boopsie. You know what, now that I've looked through those logs again, it was inappropriate. Shut the fuck up. And I am pissed. Like I am actually pissed off. This idiot has been running as this absurd damage control on behalf of Chris Tyson. He goes to another idiot who looks like, you know, he might have some stuff on his hard drive to get this defense for Chris Tyson. And now that like 3 times now, more than 3 times now, Lava's been caught lying. He comes out and goes, okay, you're right. It was inappropriate. Shut the fuck up. That gave me brain damage. This cycle has given me brain damage. And I have no clue what the hell Rolling Stone is doing. Why they are so just avidly defending Chris Tyson. I have no clue what that's about. I know why this freak does it. Like, I think if you just look at his photo, it's clear why this freak is doing it. But why Rolling Stone feels the need to jump out and run this defense for Chris Tyson, I mean, get your goddamn head examined, okay? Now, let's talk about these Discord logs, okay? The big part about these Discord logs is that they do show that, okay, the kids were running the server, all right? There was an age limit of 13. You can see some of the messages that were being sent on the server. Like, and the thing is, I understand as someone who's opened up a Discord server before, like, I don't give two craps about it. I don't open it up. I don't do anything with it. But I also wasn't intentionally getting minors to join my Discord server and letting them do whatever the hell they wanted and asking them to be the ones who moderate it. Like, at that point, just word of like common sense would be you get another adult to moderate what's going on in there. Instead, he left it to these kids, like the same kids who were also helping him out with his live streams. Right? It does show that they were like actually going through and discussing, banning people, reporting them to Discord because some of the stuff they felt uncomfortable with. Now, I don't really care about the racist remarks. I mean, yeah, I guess it's just another feather in the cap of people who hate the guy. But obviously the stuff with the kids is much worse, right? Now you can see here, this is Lava saying, commence the cleansing of the Discord, search every kind of bad word in every known chat, delete every instance of it, unless it's a bot log, right? And they're talking about how to do that. Everything needs gone, correct. I guess they were using all the gamer words. Now, one thing I think is pretty interesting over here is this part of the conversation where he goes, hey guys, just a little PSA. Server just got shouted, which means there's a lot of young people in the server. Let's try not to talk about porn and shit in Gen Chat, even if it's messing around. So one thing here, if they say even if it's messing around, that means that they were sharing porn in there and they weren't messing around. I mean, that would be the basic fundamental understanding of that sentence, right? That there were times where they would just be joking around and there were times where they'd be actually serious. Now, Cookie goes K and then Nathan goes, at least just for a bit till they get filtered out. Meaning that they were gonna hold off on this stuff, wait for some of the kids to leave, and the ones who were comfortable with it, they were gonna start spamming them with porn and shit too. That's where it goes, Jesus, did they have an open NSFW channel with minors in the server? Why is a minor having to point out to Chris that they should delete this? All right, so what's the point of the deleted channel chat for exactly? There we go, world may never know. All right, so everyone knows Rhino has given everyone the meme role, and now will automatically give people that join the role as well. I also have set up logs and deleted channel. And then Brooke the Moon just says flat out porn, right? Like, or sorry. Discount Milk responds to Brooke the Moon saying this deleted channel is for porn. And it goes, and since you've joined, there's mysteriously been an NSFW channel. Just kidding. I have no idea who made it. There's been an NSF channel since day one. Never used it before then since, Pornhub exists. Yeah, but this time there's no traps. Oh my God. Yeah. These are kids, by the way. Right? These are kids having this conversation on Chris Tyson's Discord. Okay, I do think it's a bit inappropriate and should be limited to those who are actually of the appropriate age because it's open to everyone, is it not? IMO, there should be a bit more of a restriction on it. Why the hell is the minor going in and telling the other minors that they should be age restricting their NSFW channel on Chris Tyson's server? Why the fuck didn't Chris Tyson do this to begin with? Like, actually, Chris is in the chat. Hey, Nathan, I'm okay with that. I don't have any issue with the channel. What I have an issue with are minors that have access to said channel. Is there even a way to do that? This guy's brain damaged. Not really, no. So what do we do, LOL? Remove it? Chris is an adult, okay? Chris is an adult. This is 2019, so 22 years old. Why are the minors telling Chris that they need to lock or remove the NSFW channel? Because minors have access to it, right? Like, it's just so common for Chris to send this shit to kids that to him, he doesn't see what the big deal is. That's what I'm getting out of this conversation. No, and like, this is the thing. Nathan is in here and he's like encouraging further access to the channel. No, people like it. If there was a rate, anyone can lie about their age, LMFAO. Yeah, true. And I mean, to be fair, the internet is full of porn. Discord says that if you can't regulate it, don't have one. The responsibility of the server owner to prevent minors from viewing pornographic materials. What am I, a parent? LOL. I see we get rid of it because of the fan base of Beast and Chris are mostly under 18. Lava is still a kid, okay? Lava is a kid at this point and is bringing up the fact that the majority of their audience are kids and they need to lock the NSFW channel. How did this not make sense to Chris? How are the kids being the ones coming forward and saying like you need to remove it? The children were saying it need to be removed. The adult was saying, well, the internet's full of porn. What am I gonna do? All right, I pursed chat. Come on, guys. Get along. No need to argue. We're all chosen with power, even though you might not be friends. Don't display it where everyone has to see it. I like all of you and hate to see everyone fall apart. Here's the thing. The NSFW chat is definitely two-sided, and I totally understand and see both sides. How about we come to a conclusion? I was also said in voice channel, and Chris wants to keep it, which is totally understandable. It really isn't. The fact that Chris was adamant on keeping the NSFW channel, knowing his server was being run and was filled with minors, is like, there you go. Okay, there you freaking go. I also have an idea to make a channel a little bit safer. How about we make a role called 18 plus, and we can manually give it to people who we know is in age. This way we can all relax and not have to worry. Let me know what you guys think of this idea. Just react. Milk goes, don't at me. Nathan goes, what? Then turn your at. This would be a lot of work, LOL. That's literally what I was suggesting, but I'm fine with it. It took that long to get Chris to agree to any type of restriction on the NSFW channel. And like, I see the problem with it because Chris could just assign that rule to people who aren't 18. No wonder Nathan was aware of this. Chris asked them to make it. Yes, Nathan was a minor at the time. It's constantly to take place around the server being made public. I made the NSFW channel LMAO, put the blame on me. Honestly, why though? Because I was asked to by Chris. Chris asked a minor to create an NSFW channel on his Discord. Gonna put the link to the Discord on my story. Make sure NSFW is locked down to only gods and anointed. Bruh, this is a bad idea. How? We gonna die. Nathan knew that just trying to lock down that channel was going to be a bad idea because it was going to get out. They debated demoting mods who were minors, and if it mattered, I don't know, guys. Seems kind of important. I mean, you can go through these messages if you want to pause the screen. I think that the worst part of the NSFW channel has already been brought up, but the fact that you have the kids running it, and the kids are trying to decide if the kids should be mods on the server. Chris is such a monster, okay? Like this is, you can't excuse this behavior. This is such horrendous levels of deviancy. Like I think the guy needs to be on a goddamn watch list. Lava honestly should have shut the fuck up, Christ. And where is Chris in this? Was she just gooning too much to mod this shit? Yeah, so Lava, like the idea that Lava had forgotten about these interactions, I just don't buy it. What I find interesting here is Chris would rather delete the channel than demod us. Chris was adamant about keeping the NSFW channel, but he was willing to get rid of it if it meant he could keep the minors on his mod staff. Why? Literally why? Like, just get rid of the channel. Or get rid of the kids who are modding. Like, you can't have it both ways, but Chris was ready to delete the channel so he'd keep the kids. Like, it's weird, okay? It's weird. It's honestly weird. This seems to point that Nathan's claims of a porn bot, interesting way to become a Janny. It was given God for suggesting a hentai bot. I was given God for suggesting a hentai bot. Very nice. LMFAO for real. I don't know what I did, but shrugs. Gave me God and just told me to add it myself. So, okay. So Chris gave somebody God status, so basically made them a mod because they said you should have a hentai bot. And Chris was like, okay, here's God status. Can you put that hentai bot on my Discord server with the other minors? Dude, dude. Now, there's another thing about Jimmy being in the server, but it says he never interacted. But this is just another thing that makes it look like Jimmy must have known what was going on. I'm just gonna leave it there because no conversation seems to have been happening with Jimmy being on the server. There's other logs, so maybe more stuff comes out, but right now, I'll leave it at that. We at least know that he was aware of the server and at one point was in the server. Now, I've heard people trying to defend the dad stuff and go like, well, Mr. Beast would call his crew members dad and everything. Yeah, but none of the people on Mr. Beast's crew are minors. So this is definitely a problem. Okay? Like, I just don't know what you want to say. When they're saying, love you, dad, Chris the meme god, check snap, dad. So, like, you can confirm, like, you know, it would prefer to also confirm that Chris DM with Lava and Nate outside of mod chat. This is pretty well known. Chris abandoned the mod chat in August 2019 with only one post afterwards, 17 April 2020, which is just, you know, you want to play COD. Update, short white train cookie of God's age at the time 16 provided further screens from Chris' private server, also confirmed that Nate was there. But over here, basically showing that, yes, porn was being sent in the Discord. And when Chris saw it, he goes, sauce of the actual hentai. Like, and you see there's kids in it too. So like, this is fucked up, all right? This is really fucked up. Make a chat called Server Secrets and give everyone active here right now perm to join. You're asking for a lot. Fire up the hentai archives, kids, because Chris is really to fire up the lotion and get to yoinking. We about to dump so many traps, though. Worth it. Yada, yada. Lockdown to @anime. So there you go. Chris was fully aware hentai was being sent in the server. Chris gave someone mod status so they could put a hentai bot in the server. Chris, prior to the server going public, instructed minors to start cleansing the server. Chris was adamant about keeping the NSFW channel and was willing to keep it open to the people who had been on the server prior to it going public. When more kids started to join the server, the mods started to instruct people, hey, keep the porn stuff on the down low until we filtered some of these kids out. There is zero defending any of this. Zero. You cannot defend any of this garbage. But again, for some reason, and I have no idea why, I believe Rolling Stone is going to go to this freak and get him to write another article trying to refute what's going on in this Discord server. All right? And as far as lava goes, all right, at this point, you should not take a single thing that comes out of this kid's mouth with even a grain of salt, okay? Because every single time he opens his mouth, he gets caught lying. He may have lied when he said this too. I mean, I would have to assume that he is probably telling a lie here as well, because he deleted the last time he was lying when Nathan's video came out. This whole thing is a giant mess. Okay, it's a giant mess, but the fact that anyone is trying to actually go to this kid and using him as a source to defend Chris Tyson, you need your damn heads examined.